Okay, welcome back. This is, I guess, part two, getting our garden established for this year, the 2024 season. We've been doing a lot. It's taken a couple weeks. We've been building raised beds for the new part of our garden, which we'll show you. And right now, we are inside our greenhouse, as you can see. And we are rebuilding the bed inside here.
So after last year, after we used the greenhouse for an entire grow season and harvesting, it wasn't ideal. So this year we've stripped it completely and redesigned the garden bed to maximize space. We will put in other features, but right now the most important part is building the new bed, because that's where tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers will be going in. So we'll show you guys what it looks like once we're done, but we're really excited to better use this space. You know, just like 5 or 6 more of those.
Move.
Lila, move.
Either hop in or move.
You wanna go for a ride? She's like, maybe, I don't know. Janana, what do you think? What do you think, little girl? Ooh, rotted wood. Just like breaking apart as soon as you throw it. Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
Yeah.
You did it.
Okay, so as you can see, we kind of reworked the pavers inside here. And the math worked out that we could just shift all of these over and get a nice little island going on in the center. And that frees up room for our beds. So Kate is putting down our first layer of cloth to help try and keep our insane raspberry bushes from growing up inside the greenhouse again this year. So we're going to get on with that before building up the beds and lining those. Okay, so our beds are going to be 24 inches high, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I've measured out 24 inches on each of these cedar stakes, and I'm going to now cut them down. Those are going to be some supports along the bed. We also have a leftover 4x4 post from our fence that I'm going to use for some of the bigger corners. So I'm going to cut those now.
Nova, move. Nova, leave it. So what just happened?
So, I don't know, that's a borrowed circular saw, and the blade keeps slipping. So rather than screw with that, I'm just going to cut these with a handsaw because they're not that big. So we've got most of our boards laid out in the configuration that we want. We are going to start assembling just to make sure we don't do all our cuts and end up with something a little too long or something out of square. We can make those last few cuts as we need them so we know they're the perfect size. So yeah, here we go. Wish us luck.
Fingers crossed that our triple checking our math is correct.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting our inside corner in first. It seemed like it was the easiest thing to access and get us started to see if we're on the right track. And it's come together decently. We're using just corner brackets, heavy steel corner brackets to hold these guys together in square, and we're using this post as additional wood to screw into, so that these are nice and stable. We're not relying on these guys for their structural rigidity in the corner. We're relying on this. So yeah, I think it's working pretty well.
We're gonna go, but then I'll loop that.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, next part.
Which is what?
I think these corners. I think we will have to do these corners,
Okay.
so we can get this all squared up. All right, you guys, it is coming together. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. These are the last boards. This is Nova. That's it. Got to put the last few in, and then we're more or less done. We're going to get these front faces on either side, and then we gotta fill. But yeah,
We gotta line it and then fill.
but we're almost done with the build part, so that's awesome.
I can hardly believe it.
Yeah. Nova, what do you think? Oh, is this a new dog run?
No, it doesn't have to work. Wait, no, that. Oh, woo.
Nope. Not gonna do it now.
So we're gonna start by putting another layer of weed barrier in the bottom of the beds, and then we will line the top down and have that fabric barrier and the plastic overlap to protect the wood and also keep water from spilling out the sides.
All right, everyone. Well, that's that done. It is now all lined in clear plastic and weed barrier. So now we just got to fill it back up with soil. Now, as you can see, Caitlin back there is in a big pile of old branches. When we first moved into this house, we had about 50 trees taken down, which we actually spoke about in another video where we processed the tree. But these branches have now been sitting here for about 2 years, so they are absolutely ready to be broken down and added to our beds so that we're not filling the entire bed with soil. We're doing other organic logs, wood chips, branches to take up some of the space, and then putting soil on top for the roots to get down into. It just gives it a more dynamic and organic soil structure that'll just keep feeding into itself.
Also way less expensive.
And as Kate said, it's much less expensive than trying to buy soil to fill up those super tall beds. So we are going to get started. Well, Kate's already started. I'm going to help Kate break down these branches, and we're going to go add them to the bed. So as you can see, this is quite the pile of dead branches that have been sitting over here. This is why I love winter, because it just gets all covered in snow, and it just looks like really deep snow instead of a big pile of dead branches.
Yeah. Although it's being repurposed now.
Yeah.
At least
some of it.
This could easily fill all of the bed.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good thing. And then when the soil drops after a couple of years and it starts breaking down, we'll have even more. All right. So you got our organic matter in here. But now Kate has some old soil back in. Start filling these beds up. All right, everyone, we've gotten the beds maybe about half full, but it's, I know it doesn't look like it. It's summertime in Alaska, but it's getting pretty late. We have to go to work tomorrow, so we're gonna go in, clean up, relax a little bit, and I imagine we'll be back at it tomorrow. So
Gotta get this
day 4 or 5 of just this project. The other beds are taking even longer, but that's okay.
Well, we have a short window to get everything planted out so that it actually grows outside. So
Yeah.
we're hardening off plants
Yep.
in the Arctic entry, and then the plan is to hopefully start planting this weekend if we can get everything done.
Day whatever, we're back at it. Kate is currently adding some compost, and we have some new potting soil that we got from the store. So we were hoping to get this bed at least built tonight, and that would be a big accomplishment because then we can plant the greenhouse. So what are we adding now?
The mixture of fish bone meal and lime, I believe.
So what does that do?
It gives it like nitrogen and some other good nutrients that the plants need.
It's looking beautiful. With this dynamic shot I'm getting. All done.
For now, yeah.
Ready for planting. Day 4,000,006 of planting the seed starts, getting them out into the beds. So we've begun the process. As you can see, Caitlin and her mother, Dion, are starting to plant, I believe, tomatoes, maybe some beans, and some other things. They can tell you. One thing we did start with is we tied some wire centered over each of the three different beds in the U shape. And the plan is to tie string down from the wire to give the plants something to grow up. Plants are being brought out from the seed start area in our Arctic entry out here to the greenhouse. That we're going to get them in the ground, we're going to get them tied up, and thus begins phase 1 of planting our garden.
Cuckoos are attaching themselves now. Putting out their little tendrils. This would truly make a break for it over here. So that's a T-core. These two are also T4.
I think we have way planted over, but we'll find out.
These are tan peppers. So I think this was one from. Okay. Yes.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's a monster.
I know.
They were clearly pretty happy in there.
Okay.
These look like fancy new gloves.
They are. They're leather and a little stiff. I'm gonna have to break them, so it'll happen pretty quickly.
Let's pull it out of the pot. And we're gonna tie this around top to bottom. Yay!
And that's that. We have
Peppers and tomatoes planted. Took us a little while, especially for the string supports. And we had to put in the wires, the cross wires, to hold up the strings. So now that that's in and we figured out our system, hopefully that'll be a lot easier next year. So, but for now they're in.
Yeah, so the plants will take a little bit of time to acclimatize to this new area that they're in.
We do have a temperature gauge in the soil to read what the temperature is like. This morning when I checked it, the greenhouse was about 56 degrees at about 5 a.m. So hopefully it'll stay warm enough. It's not supposed to get as cold as it did last night. We do have a heater just in case. It should kick on if it gets below a certain temperature. We also have cucumbers, 4 different types of cucumbers that are going to go in. They also will have the string supports. And so my mom is going to do that later because we are going to get up to something different this weekend. So
yeah, it is Thursday night right now. Tomorrow night, we will be unavailable for gardening because we are heading down to Homer for a very special trip that we will actually be doing Saturday. So we're going to go down there. We're going to camp. So stay tuned for what should be a pretty fun adventure. When we come back, we're going to finish up prepping the area for the other raised beds. We have one more to build. We have all of them to fill. Then we will transfer the rest of the plants out. So stay tuned for that video as well. And then summer is kicked off. We're going hard on everything we can. Hunting, fishing, gardening, camping, everything.
name it.
Yeah, we're
Alaskans in the summer just go hard.
It's kind of true. That is what we discovered is, it's a long winter, and then when summer hits, people go crazy. We're almost about as close as we get to 24 hours of daylight. All that said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do us a big favor and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. We want to grow. We want to show you more things, all of our adventures here up in Alaska. So thank you again so much. We hope you enjoy this content, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Stop myself from making a Harry Potter reference.